All right, I got to bring something to the show. Half the people will hate me and half the people will love me. That's what I'm thinking.
So you're saying this will be no change in how the public feels about you or
correct.
anyone else on this fucking program?
Absolutely, Anthony. But I'm brave enough to bring this to people's attention and get yelled at and all that and get the hate mail and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I was taking a subway down to Paisano of Mulberry Street in the heart of Little Italy.
And checking out the date.
And I ended up eating at Paisano's with Lindsay. We had a great time. It was the San Gennaro feast. And but I went down there to check in on Big A and Stalker Patty's date last night. We have audio from the date and all that.
Can't wait to hear it.
And they're coming in to talk about their date last night. Right. So for some reason yesterday I was on edge, and I'm walking down the sidewalk in my neighborhood going to the subway, and there's a nanny pushing a stroller behind me. Okay? And the kid was screaming bloody murder. Bloody murder.
And the little
and I'm not going to exaggerate here. I'm telling you how it is.
How old was the kid?
And you can either call me out and say I'm a douche, or you could say I'm your hero today.
How old was the kid about?
A year maybe. Maybe a little less. somewhere between like 10 months and like 14 months, let's call it, okay? Screaming bloody murder. I turned around once to see that the kid was screaming bloody murder for no reason, just because he can.
Yeah.
That's key to the story. There was no feeling sorry for the kid like there was some problem going on, okay?
Yeah.
Like he was hungry.
Didn't have a boo-boo.
Screaming, going right through me. Going right through me. Maybe 5 feet behind me.
Yeah.
Okay?
The hatred of kids just came out right there.
Oh.
So,
stand them.
I'm looking around, and everyone else around me is annoyed. They're just annoyed because the kid is screaming bloody murder.
Is this on just a public sidewalk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even under an awning somewhere?
No,
or
we're just
anything. You're talking public
street. You couldn't just walk like the hurricane, the stroller and the baby?
I think the nanny was cranking that stroller up to like 20.
Just running behind him, the kid.
keeping him right on your heels.
Close enough, though. And I turned around once to see what's the problem. You have to look. And there was no problem. The kid was just screaming. But I gave the nanny a look like, hello?
Yeah.
You know, that type of look like, I'm a little bothered here. And everyone else was. There was a mass of people walking down the sidewalk. It continues. I turn around, and now the nanny's smiling at me like, isn't this cute? And that's when I snapped inside. I said, will you shut the fucking kid up?
Oh, Jesus.
And I yelled it really loud.
Shut the fucking kid up.
And then she looks at me like I'm absolutely crazy.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. Now I'm arguing with the lady.
Her
like,
side.
Rightly so.
Now I'm arguing with the lady like, just shut the kid up. Whatever. This is going, it's obnoxious, blah, 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 blah. And then she's crossing the road as she's cursing me out, and I'm screaming at her.
Were you feeling stressed about something?
Yeah, I told you I was just edgy in general. I don't know why. So then, like, she crosses the road, and people look at me and nod like, all right, you had the balls to do that because it was driving us crazy. And then other people look at me.
Was it a scared nod like, okay, that was good you did that?
A few of those.
It was very good.
A few of those, a couple thumbs up, and then a lot of mostly older women looking at me like they just ate a lemon, like, ugh, what is wrong with you? And then I actually heard two girls crossing the street going, did you just see that? Like they couldn't believe they just saw like somebody yelling at a kid and a nanny.
Well, good.
Shut the fuck up.
You know something? I might not agree with the place that it took place, but I agree. I think more people should yell at these people with the kids. Shut them up. You don't know how annoying it is, and they don't even try.
That's the thing that saves them.
Yeah?
Is if if I'm on a plane and some kid's crying, it doesn't really bug me as long as the person is trying. It's a kid. As long as the person is trying to shut the kid up. But when they're just sitting there.
That's the point I want to make.
And it's your kid. You know how to shut him up.
No, but
whatever it takes. Give him candy. Do all the wrong things you're not supposed to do in the situation where it's on an aircraft or in a fucking movie theater.
But that's the point I want to make, and hopefully it'll save me a little bit. If I turn around and she was doing anything to try to shut the kid up or do something, then I understand. Kids are going to be kids at that age especially. But the fact is, when I turned around and she was smiling like, isn't this cute, and she had no intention of doing anything, and we're walking down the sidewalk and all you hear is, ah! Ah! Exactly.
Wow.
Just imagine that for a whole block, though, before you finally turn around and say something. That was for not even 5 seconds, Anthony.
You know what that reminds me of? That shove something in their mouth? I did a sitcom one time. My character was married and had like a baby. So they have to use twins because babies can only work like 3 hours.
Right.
So one kid is like literally catatonic. Okay, a axe murderer could come in and pick this kid up, and the kid doesn't do shit. The other kid, his own mother picks him up, and he's completely freaking the fuck out. So this guy starts calling, say one's name's whatever, Bob, the other one's name's Bill. We use Bob first, the catatonic one. He does a quick switch, and he starts calling the other one Bob, the catatonic one. He starts calling him Bill. Put a fucking 6-hour day in on one kid, and the other kid didn't do shit. Because the day before, I swear to God, and he looks over me and winks. I'm like, now I'm part of it. Like,
Kids working a full shift.
Yeah. Got a little baby miner hat. And the day before, this is all true. The day before, we tried to use both kids, and I think it was the week before, the episode before, and the one kid was crying. I'm standing, waiting to go backstage. I'm standing backstage, waiting to go on. And as the scene's going, and right before they're like, "Is the kid okay?" He's like, "Yeah, he's okay." And you see the kid's like starting to well up, right? So literally, right as I'm starting to go out, the kid is starting to make that face like he's gonna cry and starts to open his mouth. His dad took a fucking sugar corn pop or something, those little yellow things, and just shoved it in his mouth. And I was horrified. And the kid's like trying to spit it out, and I'm walking out with my wacky next door neighbor lines. It was horrendous.
That is great.
They're fucking props at that point. The prop is not cooperating.
His own dad, and the kid, you're getting like $4,000.
Yeah.
$2,000 a kid or something like that per episode. So I mean, that's a lot of money.
Oh my God.
Kind of your
That's
maternal
horrid.
instincts go out to shut this.
Yeah. Paycheck.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap! Let me get into this one. Mike in Florida. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey guys, I'm a long-time listener. I love you guys to death, but I've always been amazed by your hate for children. Really get a kick out of it. It's kind of strange.
I hate that you listeners just make blanket statements. Anthony absolutely hates kids.
Yes, yeah. I totally agree with you on that.
I don't hate kids.
I like
hate
kids.
everything they do.
I have a lot of nephews and nieces. Absolutely love them. They're well behaved. I want my own kids. I can't wait. All right? But I can't stand kids that misbehave in fucking public situations, and it drives me nuts.
I agree with you, but I have one question. Did the kids start crying, like, out of nowhere, or was it crying initially from the time you saw it?
They were behind me the whole time, so I don't know if they turned the corner as I was passing or just got out of a store. I have no idea. All I know is the kids screaming bloody murder.
Stopped crying for 2 blocks and just finally given up trying to get home. I don't know.
She could even have backed off or something because she was right behind a lot of people in a
backed off.
Do anything. Jump in. I don't know.
Stay out of the crowd.
Stop. Strolling and pick up the baby for a second. I don't know. Do something. All I ask, and all these guys agree too, and I think a lot of people out there, is at least try. That's all we ask for. At least try to shut the kid up. You're in a restaurant trying to enjoy a meal, and there's that kid screaming bloody murder, and the parents are like, it's our night out. I don't give a fuck. If my kid's going to scream, everyone's going to have to suffer. That's bullshit.
That's your burden.
If the kid's still yelling and screaming after you try to calm them down, then I accept that. I respect the parents that all of a sudden take their kid and go outside for a little while. You don't see that often, though.
No.
I agree with you, and it is kind of a blanket statement, but I do think Anthony would probably turn around, kick the stroller over, and take off jogging.
Well, I don't think I'd do that, sir, but
it's
I just don't like things kids do.
No,
I like kids. I think they're adorable, cute. Photographs. You look at them. You're like, that's good. I download them off. But
Jesus, there's another story about that in the paper today. Calm down.
But when they start like yapping and screaming, you're in a restaurant and the parents think it's fine for the kid to get up and start running around the table and screaming. You're in a motor vehicle and the kid's running back and forth just screaming and the parent does nothing.
You ever accidentally trip one, but on purpose?
Oh, it is the best when they hurt themselves. I laugh out loud.
And I don't ask for requests. I don't ask you to do requests often. And I don't put you on the spot often.
Yeah.
But could you do your impression of a kid running back and forth?
Oh, when they...
It's one of my favorite things. as you're trying to enjoy a nice meal, there's the kid running all over the restaurant. What happened?
Did my mic blow up?
Why?
Or did I pull my...
No, you're
there we go.
You're still
I
on.
pulled my cord out doing that. But
you want a little tip?
Yeah.
Most kids cry because they want attention, and most parents, well, a lot of parents, because I don't want to piss off too many parents today, they will run to the kid when they start crying, right?
Yep.
And the kid knows that, and that's a reason why they cry a lot, right?
Yeah.
I'm no expert here. I'm not a father yet, okay? But when that same kid is crying and looks at you in a restaurant and is looking at you crying, all I have to do is give them the look of death, an evil look, and they'll shut the fuck up.
Just look all nasty at him.
Like, I'm not enjoying this, and I'm not your parent.
The parent. Here's what the
It'll
parents
shut
do.
them up every time, dude. And then the parents sometimes wonder, why did my kid just shut? That's weird.
Yeah. Why did my kid just shut up?
And you at this point have turned around. You're enjoying your pasta, you know. But for that split second, you turn around and just give them that evil look.
Wow.
It's
like,
selfish.
I will eat you.
It's selfish.
I'll do that to a toddler. I draw the line at babies.
Yeah.
Well,
it's selfish. As far as parents go, it's fucking selfish because they're out. This is one of their, the one night they get a month that they're out. They got the kid with them, but they just want to spend time. Like, just because they're out, they think they're not with their kids anymore. So they sit there, they're trying to enjoy themselves with their kids screaming, but they're like, I'm not going to deal with this because we're out. Well, the whole fucking restaurant's dealing with it. Oh, my God, that's it. I heard this once in a sushi restaurant. I hear this screaming. No, it's not. And this woman picks up her kid by the arms, and I'm eating, picks up her kid by the arms, shoves her nose right into the kid's ass, and goes, ooh, you need a changing. And I'm eating, I'm fucking disgusted.
Oh, my God.
They just don't understand that everyone isn't a parent. Everyone doesn't think that's fine or cute or just normal because that's what you got to do when you have kids.
What about start changing them right on the sushi bar?
Yeah, right there on the sushi bar. I had a little baby turd roll.
Oh. I was going to say, wasabi for everybody.
Yeah, wasabi. Nice green glob of wasabi. They don't understand.
Get a good one.
They don't understand.
Have you been in the movie theater where the kid runs up and down the aisle?
Oh, yeah. Isn't that fun?
Runs
makes the movie
and
great.
Down the aisle.
When they're too young to understand anything that's going on in the movie, so they're just asking questions about everything.
Yeah. Rated R movie.
Rated R.
What's that? It's called fucking. You have awful parents. Shut the fuck up.
Turn around. Eat your Twizzlers and watch them fuck.
So, what do you think?
It's one of those kids that's going to have dentures by the 4th grade. Just eating cotton candy.
Was I out of line yesterday?
Milk duds.
Yeah.
On the street, that's a little rough.
I would more try to concentrate on what you were so irritated with.
I don't know, I was just on edge yesterday. I don't even know.
That made you yell at one of God's little miracles.
Oh, you could have crossed the street.
I guess.
You could have crossed the street.
I guess. I don't know. I haven't been on edge lately, though. I've been fine. I've been very happy lately. But I don't know.
It's hilarious. You could probably rob a bank with a crying kid.
But then, I was on the subway going down to Little Italy, and now I'm feeling bad. Like, oh, God, was I out of control up there? And I'm asking a lot of questions and thinking about it. But then I remember some of the people that were kind of giving me the thumbs up, and nodding, way to go. But then I'm seeing the other people oh, my God, you're just, what is wrong with you?
Same guy that stabbed that kid here in the city a couple of weeks ago in the stroller.
For what reason?
I was giving you the thumbs up. All right, you need a knife? I don't know. Just out of nowhere, this guy jumped out and stabbed an infant in a stroller.
Maybe they had history.
Maybe. Owed him money or something.
Yeah,